Dear student, today you have chosen to read the lesson on olive oil as a functional food. The olive tree is native to the Mediterranean basin, and history says that wild olives are collected by Neolithic people as early as the 8th millennium BC. Olives and olive oil have functional properties, and when you read this, you should be able to understand the health benefits of olive oil and know about olive oil as a functional food. We start our lesson by knowing a few historical details about olive oil. Olives have been used to produce olive oil besides being used as a food. From ancient times, olive oil has been used for religious rituals, medicines, skincare applications, as fuel in oil lamps, and also in soap making. Olive oil was an important product of commerce and wealth. The first recorded oil extraction can be traced from the Hebrew Bible and had taken place during the 13th century BC. The oil was extracted from the berries by squeezing and were stored in special containers under the guard of priests. Later on, hand presses and commercial mills were used. I believe many ancient presses still exist in the eastern Mediterranean regions. There are many different varieties of olives, each with a particular flavor, texture, and shelf life. Olive oil was common in ancient Greek and Roman cuisine. Olive oil is an integral ingredient of the Mediterranean diet, and accumulating evidence suggests that it may have health benefits that include reduction of risk factors of coronary heart disease, prevention of several varieties of cancers, and modification of immune and inflammatory responses. Olive oil is known for its high levels of monounsaturated fatty acids and is also a good source of phytochemicals including polyphenolic compounds, squalene, and alpha tocopherol. Olive oil appears to be an example of a functional food with varied components that may contribute to its overall therapeutic characteristics. Before we move on to the therapeutic characteristics, let us first see how olive oil is processed. Unlike other vegetable oils which are taken from seeds, olive oil is taken from olive berries, that is fruits, which gives its natural goodness. Virgin olive oil is unlike most seed oils obtained by using a series of mechanical operations at a specific temperature so that oil droplets are obtained. The resulting oil is fat naturally created in olive fruit and has a unique chemical composition and specific pleasant aroma. Therefore, it can be consumed directly without any further refining treatment. The modern method of olive oil extraction uses an industrial decanter to separate all the phases by centrifugation. Virgin olive oil contains two main fractions, oil or saponifiable fraction and unsaponifiable fraction. Saponifiable fraction are mainly triacyl glycerols, diacyl glycerols, monoacyl glycerols, free fatty acids, and phospholipids, and they represent nearly 98 to 99.5% of the oil chemical composition. The olive oil triacyl glycerols is the most common monounsaturated fatty acids, that is oleic acid, together with small amounts of saturated and significant amounts of polyunsaturated fatty acids, mainly linoleic acid. Unsaponifiable fraction consisting of hydrocarbons, tocopherols, coloring pigments, phenols, triterpenes, and other compounds contribute around 0.5 to 1.5% of the oil composition. The quality and biological value of olive oil depends on the following factors based on variety, the soil management, the agro-technical procedures, climatic conditions, health of the fruit, degree of its maturity, transportation, handling of fruits during storage, and processing methods. Before knowing how olive oil acts as a functional food, it is important for you to understand the biological mechanisms of defense against free radicals in our body. During normal oxidation of nutrients in producing energy, a small portion of oxygen escapes the normal use and leads to the creation of free radicals. These free radicals are highly reactive and volatile compounds. Oxygen-free radicals, if not neutralized, affect some macromolecules such as DNA, which are responsible for the genetic code, some specialized proteins, and disrupt the structure and function of cell membranes, and also alter lipoproteins that carry cholesterol, thereby altering their ability to deliver cholesterol to the cells that need it. The body defends itself against harmful effects of free radicals by enzymatic and non-enzymatic antioxidant substances, which are partly innate and which have to be derived partly from external sources, which is food. The external defense through food is possible by beta carotenes, non-vitamin carotenoids, alpha tocopherol, ascorbic acid, phenolic compounds, and selenium. Given that we cannot influence the innate structure, we should increase our intake of antioxidants through food. This shows how important it is to increase the antioxidant substances and at the same time try to reduce the causes which may favor the formation of free cell radicals. When free radicals accumulate, there is oxidative stress, and this is considered as one of the main factors that cause various diseases such as cancer, inflammation, atherosclerosis, cardiovascular diseases, certain neurodegenerative diseases such as Parkinson's disease and aging. Today, it is widely accepted that the risk of oxidative damage may be reduced through the intake of antioxidants. In this sense, olive oil phenols act as scavengers of free radicals, and it is clear that olive oil acts as a functional food. Now let us know about the antioxidants and biologically valuable components present in virgin olive oil. Virgin olive oil is considered as an example of a natural functional food because of its active substances which contribute to prevention and treatment of various diseases. Virgin olive oil is unique among all vegetable oils because of its high content of phenolic compounds. The phenolic compounds not only contribute to the health value of oil, they also affect the sensory properties and increase the stability of the oil from oxidative deterioration. In addition to removing free radicals, tocopherols in virgin olive oil prevent photooxidation changes and thereby increase the oxidative stability of the oil during storage. In addition, phenol compounds have exceptional antioxidant, anti-cancer, and anti-inflammatory properties and are therefore important in the prevention of these diseases. The sensation of bitterness and the pungency in the oil is due to the presence of its phenolic compounds. According to literature, the proportion of the phenolic compounds in olive oil is in the range of 40 to 1000 mg per kg. According to a study published in Food Chemistry 2014, phenolic acids, phenolic alcohols, lignans and flavones are the 4 categories identified in extra virgin oil as the most important, though it is likely due to the synergistic activity of all olive oil compounds. According to research, phenols known as tyrosol and hydroxytyrosol and their fractions, namely 3,4-dihydroxyphenylethanol alanoic acid and 3,4-dihydroxyphenylethanol alanoic acid dihaldehyde, are the compounds being identified as providing some of the greatest antioxidant activities. Now, to tell you about the biological activities and the potential health benefits relating to olives, they are numerous, and as you see here, the biological activity and the potential clinical target. Now, olive oil has antioxidant activity and thereby can reduce cardiovascular and degenerative diseases. They possess anti-inflammatory action and hence are capable of inhibiting pro-inflammatory enzymes. Olive oil has antimicrobial activity and therefore they can kill microorganisms and can keep away infectious diseases. Olive oil has an anti-atherogenic activity, meaning to say that it can prevent the formation of atherosclerosis and thereby prevent coronary heart diseases and stroke. Anti-tumor activity is also seen in olive oils and therefore they are very good in preventing various cancers. Also, they have antiplatelet aggregation quality, which again can prevent coronary heart diseases and help prevent strokes. Olive oil has an antihypertensive activity and thereby can keep the blood pressure under control. They also have increased vitamin A and beta carotene activity and therefore are very good to prevent early aging and also protect skin against aging. Olive oil increases immune activity and therefore autoimmune disorders and other infectious diseases can be kept at bay. Olive oil finally has the ability to reduce cholesterol and LDL in the plasma levels and therefore can prevent coronary heart diseases. So, you must have seen olive oil has a very high antioxidant activity and in fact it can have a broad spectrum of preventive actions against various disorders. Now, let us move on to olive oil to see the monounsaturated fat content. Saturated fatty acids, lauric, myristic, palmitic and lignoceric are present in olive oil. Unsaturated fatty acids are an important factor by which the olive oil is distinguished from other fats. The most common monounsaturated fatty acid in olive oil is oleic acid, and in the composition of the total fatty acid, it is represented with 55 to 83%. It has a great biological nutritional value and is easily digestible. That's why olive oil is a representative of the oleic acid oil group. In 2004, the Agency for Food and Drug Administration (FDA) in the United States allowed the claim to be printed on the labels of virgin olive oil, which stated benefit of reducing the risk of heart disease and cardiovascular system while consuming about 2 tablespoons of virgin olive oil daily. This is possible only due to its high content of oleic acid. It is believed that oleic acid, the most common fatty acid in olive oil, increases the level of high density lipoprotein or the good cholesterol and apoprotein A1, and reduces the level of low density lipoprotein, the bad cholesterol, and apoprotein B. Therefore, the oleic acid can prevent cardiovascular diseases, which are the main cause of death today. Besides the oleic acid in olive oil, there are other polyunsaturated fatty acids, namely palmitoleic acid, gadolinic acid, which is represented in a very small quantity, which is up to 0.5% of the total amount of fatty acids. The most important essential fatty acid in olive oil are linoleic in an amount of 3.5 to 21% and linolenic in an amount up to 0.9%. Since the body cannot synthesize the essential fatty acids, these should be taken in with food. These fatty acids are essential for life because they regulate membrane fluidity, permitting action of cell organelles, and are included in the composition of lipoproteins that carry blood lipids, participate in biochemical processes and immunological processes, and they are the precursors of long chain polyunsaturated fatty acids such as gamma-linolenic, arachidonic, eicosapentaenoic acid and docosahexaenoic acid. Now, to tell you about olive oil as an anti-inflammatory agent. Inflammation is the body's natural protective response to illness, stress and infection. However, some illnesses and disease causes the body's immune system to malfunction, leading to chronic inflammation. When inflammation is activated continuously over many years, it can result in excess oxidation and chronic disease. A growing body of research supports that chronic inflammation is a root cause of major illnesses such as neurological disorders, including Parkinson's and Alzheimer's disease, obesity, metabolic syndrome, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancers. As a result of this understanding, professionals in the medical community are embracing anti-inflammatory diets as a key ingredient to promote healthy aging, delay the onset of age-related illness, and promote optimum health at any age. Increased olive oil consumption has been linked with a decreased risk of developing rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease characterized by inflammation and pain, particularly in the joints. A clinical trial revealed that rheumatoid arthritis patients who supplemented their diets with olive oil and fish oil experienced greater improvements in clinical measurements of the disease than did patients who supplemented with fish oil alone. These observations suggest that olive oil could help prevent rheumatoid arthritis and may restore mobility and function in those already affected by the disease. One reason that olive oil helps to prevent inflammation may be that its phenolic compounds modify genes involved in inflammatory response. Olive oil contains oleocanthal, an in vitro cyclooxygenase inhibitor with potential anti-inflammatory and analgesic properties similar to the non-steroid anti-inflammatory drug ibuprofen. Oleocanthal may offer special protection against Alzheimer's disease. A laboratory study found that oleocanthal beneficially alters the structure of neurotoxic proteins believed to contribute to the debilitating effects of Alzheimer's disease. Emerging research indicates that olive oil consumption helps to prevent osteopenia, an inflammation-induced loss of bone mineralization. Osteopenia is a prelude to full-blown osteoporosis. Now, let us move on to see the effect of olive oil on cardiovascular diseases. The most robust research on olive oil has been in effects on cardiovascular disease, the leading cause of death worldwide. Several biochemical and metabolic studies add evidence to the cardiovascular protective effect of olive oil, strongly attributed to oleic acid and antioxidant polyphenols, reducing LDL cholesterol and increasing high density cholesterol. Olive oil improves many additional risk factors for cardiovascular diseases like regulating blood pressure, glucose metabolism, and maintaining antithrombotic profile. Endothelial function, inflammation, and oxidative stress are also positively changed. LDL oxidation plays a critical role in the development of atherosclerosis and coronary heart disease. Phenolic compounds in olive oil show powerful antioxidant properties against LDL oxidation. Olive oil's antihypertensive properties have been confirmed in several studies. One study found out that patients with high blood pressure who ate a diet rich in olive oil were able to reduce their dose of blood pressure medication. Research published in 2010 offered further substantiation of the cardiovascular benefits of olives and olive oil. After 3 months of consuming olive oil rich in polyphenols, the test subjects had a downregulation in the expression of atherosclerosis related genes in their peripheral blood mononuclear cells. The polyphenols also significantly impacted the expression of genetic changes affecting coronary heart disease. Now, the use of olive oil in preventing diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome and diabetes are also risk factors for cardiovascular diseases, and diet can reduce the incidence of these both. A meta-analysis of 50 studies provides significant evidence of the positive effect of a Mediterranean diet rich in olive oil. The study found that not only the diet reduced the rates of metabolic syndrome, it also improved all of its individual components like waist circumference, blood pressure, blood sugar, HDL cholesterol, and triglycerides. Diabetes is very prevalent in the globe these days, and type 2 diabetes is the most common and most preventable kind. Results from epidemiological studies show the beneficial effect of the Mediterranean dietary pattern on diabetes mellitus and glucose metabolism in general. Clinical studies also support the positive effect of olive oil on type 2 diabetes. The Mediterranean diet and olive oil may also affect type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome by helping with weight loss or maintaining the ideal body weight. The oil's palatability facilitates eating vegetables, and that can be a reason wherein oleic acid will influence satiety, a feeling of fullness, and helps to reduce food intakes. Now, looking into olive oil as an anti-cancerous agent. Cancer is rapidly overtaking heart disease as the #1 killer, and this phenomenon is coupled with a growing aging population and associated age-related diseases. High intakes of red meat, processed meat, dairy foods, products with refined sugar and grains, as well as high fat foods is associated with a higher risk of cancer. Researchers believe at least 1/3 of cancer cases could be prevented by dietary changes. studies have also discerned clear associations between reduced rates of certain types of cancer and increased olive oil consumption. Oleic acid has been found to be particularly effective against breast, colon, and prostate cancer cells. Oncology researchers have found that oleic acid may fight cancer through its interaction with the human genome. They discovered that oleic acid suppresses the overexpression of an oncogene critical to etiology, invasive progression, and metastasis of many human cancers. The antioxidants in olive oil may also offer chemoprotective properties. Research on olive oil and its components has also focused on their capacity to inhibit proliferation and promote apoptosis in several tumor cell lines by diverse mechanisms. Epidemiological studies reveal that women who follow a Mediterranean diet have lower rates of breast cancer than those who do not. Olive oil polyphenols are also bioactive against specific cancer lines. The Mediterranean diet and olive oil offer protection against colon cancer. British researchers analyzed international food and cancer databases. After studying data on cancer incidence from 28 countries, they discovered high meat consumption was associated with greater colon cancer incidence, whereas olive oil consumption was directly linked to fewer incidences of colon cancer. Rates of skin cancer are lower in populations that follow a traditional Mediterranean diet than those who don't. The high content of squalene in olive oil may be responsible. Compared to most other foods, olive oil has a very high level of squalene. Olive oil has 0.7%, while most other foods range between 0.002 and 0.003%. While squalene is dispersed throughout the body, the majority is transported to the skin, where it may provide a chemoprotective effect. Squalene may also provide protection against many other forms of cancer. Now, to see olive oil in digestive health. Because more than 70% of the body's immune system is located in the intestines, digestive health plays a critical role in maintaining general health and wellness, as well as preventing chronic disease. For centuries, olives and olive oil have been used to treat several digestive disorders. Olive oil facilitates overall digestion and absorption of nutrients, including crucial fat-soluble vitamins. Researchers estimate that 55 to 66% of polyphenols from olive oil are absorbed after ingestion, primarily in the small intestine. In addition to anti-inflammatory properties, antibacterial and antimicrobial activities of olive oil offers positive effects on gut health. Researchers have found olive oil compounds to exert significant antibacterial activity against several strains of Helicobacter pylori, which are resistant against antibiotic medication. So, to conclude, virgin olive oil is an example of natural functional food ingredient for which its activities contribute to prevention and treatment of various diseases. It contains a lot of antioxidants. It is dominated by monounsaturated fatty acids. It is low in saturated fatty acids and contains essential fatty acids with a balanced ratio between the series of omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. So, consumption of vegetables and fruits accompanied by moderate consumption of olive oils, olives and nuts are important to improve health and well-being. Thank you.